health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here. So tonight it's a quick soup recipe as requested by Natalie. So I'm going to show you just a basic cabbage soup today. Okay, so just a basic soup, and I had a cabbage head that I needed to use up, so I'll show you how I make my cabbage soup. So let's go. Here we've got the ingredients, guys. So basically you need the Holy Trinity to start with, right? So that is your onion. So this is chopped very small, diced small. Then I've got my celery, also sliced quite thin. And my carrot, also sliced thin. Your carrot you could do also in like a little dice like the onion too. Depends, you know, which shape of carrot you prefer. Today I couldn't be bothered to chop it up small because, you know, it's a little bit more work, so I just mandolined it. So yeah, so you've got 3 of these, so we'll need to fry these off first. And then we've got a couple of other ingredients. So obviously your cabbage, I've got a head of cabbage shredded here. I've got my stock, so you could use, you know, homemade stock if you've got some. I haven't got any at the minute, so I'll be using the this stock. It's vegan Swiss vegetable marigold brand. I like it because you know, just put like teaspoons or tablespoons, depends obviously how much liquid it's about. I think, let's have a look. Yeah, so 4 teaspoons per litre of stock. Okay, so I've got my sour. So this is from my cucumbers, pickled cucumbers. So it's about half a cup or 1/3 of a cup, you know. It's not very strong, it's not very pickly, so I like my acids in my soup. I think it gives something extra, but you could use maybe ketchup, or you could use apple cider vinegar as well, maybe 2-3 tablespoons of that, and maybe a couple of tablespoons of ketchup, just something to give that bit of acidity to the soup. And then I've got an extra ingredient, which is mushrooms. They've been sitting in the fridge for a little while, so I need to use them up, so that'll be just an extra addition. Oh guys, and I forgot some potatoes. Let me get those. So I've got my organic new potatoes, and we leave the skin on these because it's more nutrients, and you know, it's a whole food, so we try and keep the skin on if we can. So I've got maybe 5 little potatoes chopped up here, and you chop it as small as you want it. The smaller the chop, obviously the quicker the whole soup will be ready. So let's get cooking. I have my non-stick pot preheated, guys. So I'm gonna be just dry frying the onions first. Give a couple of minutes just for the onions, and then I'll be adding the other 2 ingredients, carrot and celery from the Holy Trinity, and also have some stock on hand to add, you know, a couple of tablespoons at a time when this starts sticking to the bottom. So it's been a couple of minutes, the onions have been frying. I'm gonna add the carrots and also the celery. And continue dry frying and adding, you know, a couple of tablespoons of stock if it starts sticking. It'll probably be another 5-6 minutes or so. As you can see, the vegetables have softened and they are getting slightly brown as well. So because we have mushrooms, we're going to add them in now as well. So it's been about 6 minutes of the vegetables, maybe 5 minutes, and then a couple of minutes for the onion at the beginning, so probably about 6-7 minutes altogether that the vegetables were frying. And even though it looks quite dry, as you can see, there's some things stuck to the bottom there. However, the mushrooms normally release some of their liquid, so I'm gonna not add anything just yet and see, you know, if the mushrooms will release their own juices. So as you can see, the mushrooms have released their own juices, and everything is kind of deglazed the bottom of the pan, as you can see. So we'll let that kind of evaporate and evaporate? What am I saying, guys? Evaporate, yeah, that's the word. So anyway, so I'll let this evaporate, and then when it's starting to slightly fry again, I'll add another additional ingredient, which is garlic. You know, you don't have to add it, but this time I've decided to add it because it normally gives a nice flavour to dishes too. So I'm going to just wait for this to dry out a little bit, add garlic for the last minute, because you don't want to fry garlic any longer than a minute. And then we're going to be adding our cabbage, our potatoes and the stock, so that the soup finishes cooking. So now it's drying out and starting to stick to the bottom again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add the garlic quickly. Fry that for a minute. And then we're going to be adding our stock. So the reason we, oh, the smell of the garlic is so amazing. So the reason we are frying our vegetables before adding the stock and, you know, cabbage and potatoes is because we want this deeper caramelized flavor of the onion, celery and carrot. It just gives you, you know, this nice depth and flavor. So that's kind of why you want to fry these three ingredients first, you know, before adding all your liquid ingredients. So yeah, oh wow, really does smell delicious, this garlic. Quite strong, but it's just one clove, so it's a big pot, so it shouldn't overpower anything. So yeah guys, so at this point now you can add your cabbage, and what I sometimes also like to do, I like to sweat it a little bit. So before I add my liquid ingredients, I would add the cabbage on top like this, and maybe reduce the gas just slightly, and I'm gonna put the lid on for about 5 minutes or so to sweat the cabbage. So the cabbage has been sweating for about 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna be pouring in all the stock and adding potatoes and my sour ingredient. So at this point guys, you either, you know, can put your stock, or you could also top that up with any flavoursome vegetable water you might have had. So for example, when I boil potatoes or, you know, steam any vegetables, I keep the water, so I've added, you know, a litre of this as well as some stock to this, because it's a very flavoursome liquid, and, you know, don't waste it, just use it in soups or stews like that. So the cabbage is in. I've increased the gas on full now because we need to get it to boil. Adding the potatoes. So I'll let this get to boiling point, and then we're gonna simmer on lower or medium until the potatoes are done, and then I'll catch up with you. Actually, before I go, I nearly forgotten, we put the acidic ingredient in. So in my case is some of the cucumber brine, but you can put olive brine, you can put maybe a little bit of ketchup or apple cider vinegar. Everything would work, I think, because I think it improves the taste of the soup, in my opinion, because you know, a combination of sweet, salty and sour is what gives the dishes, you know, this amazing flavor. Obviously we're not putting sweet in here, but you know, salty and sour I think is great combined in the soup. So I'll catch up with you once this has boiled to the point where the potatoes are ready. Also guys, I'm gonna put 1 laurel leaf and 4 whole peppercorns as well. That gives the soup the extra flavor. And obviously at this point you could taste whether your stock is salty and flavorful enough. I think mine needs just half of the cube. My stock powder finished, so I'm gonna add half of the stock cube as well. So guys, we've got the soup over here and we've got a taste tester there.
Yay! So what kind of soup is it, Inga?
It's cabbage soup with additional mushrooms.
It's
hot.
It's fairly hot, yeah.
Just from the stove, guys.
Oh.
Do you want
I need something, yeah. It's otherwise I'm going to be juggling soup. Like, there could be an extensive blowing period.
Yeah, it's pretty hot, guys, so give him a second. I'm not going to do taste testing because I just had a pear, guys, and I don't mix my fruits and food, as you know. I would need to wait for half an hour, but it's too late to eat after that. But Mark was feeling a little bit peckish still.
That's good.
Yeah?
I like the potatoes, they're kind of quite like, I don't know how to explain it, it kind of absorbed a lot of the flavour of the soup, it's really good.
So there you go, guys, a basic cabbage soup with additional mushrooms, so you can try it without, you know, or try it with and see what you think. So I hope you try this, Natalie, and yeah, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe for more videos from Health Origins from us. And give us thumbs up if you like the video, and until the next time, guys.
Bye.